This is from a 25 and L session. The good, the bad, the ugly. Ace 10 offsuit in middle position. I open and get called by the button in the big blind, which are to have the two widest ranges on the table. I immediately hate the flop. So when it checks to me, I show some restraint and check it as well. The button bets, now the big blind raises. It's an easy fold for me, and I'm glad I was able to recognize that because I really played poorly these couple of sessions. That was the good, so it only gets worse from here. I'm on the button with queen 10 of spades. We get an open from early position and then a cold call. So when it folds around to me, I decide to squeeze, and I like my size in here. But that's the last part I like about this hand. In game, I was really worried about the early position opener. I thought the cold caller and the small blind were pretty weak, but I was a little bit off on that assessment. Now I'm thinking of a master plan as the flop comes, horrific for my actual hand. Small blind checks and middle position donk bets, which should have been my first red flag. But just like that 1X, I ignored the obvious and made the call anyway. So when the turn card comes, another heart, I see no other way of winning this hand outside of a kamikaze bluff. So when it checks to me, I feel like it's a perfect opportunity to set up a huge river shove. But the small blind says F it, and he goes ahead and shoves. Nothing I can do besides fold and kind of shake my head. Hand number 3, I'm under the gun with king, queen offsuit. Sometimes I do fold this hand pre, but don't tell anybody because I feel like a super nit if you do. We go 4 ways to the flop and I make top pair. I think I bet a third pot, but I should have made my size smaller or should have just checked to the field. The later positions have all the stronger hands, and I really only have top pair and maybe the nut flush draw. I do have pocket queens in my range, but unfortunately, I don't have pocket queens in my actual hand. But for some reason, I bet into 4 players on the turn. Even though 6-7 got there, the front door flush bricks off, and I'm just so stubborn. I decide to shove into 2 people, hoping both of them somehow have flush draws. But of course not. Of course he has a set. He shows Scottie Pippen for the win. That would have been a nice pot. I mean, I could have bought 1 cheeseburger from 5 Guys. Now I'm in the cutty with ace 5 suited. We have a under the gun limp and a middle position open. I decided to raise things up. I made it kind of small because the middle position wasn't very deep. When he made the call, in game I thought he had a pretty strong hand. I really put him on 9s through queens. I didn't think he would just call with aces or kings. I thought he would shove. He checks to me, and I think I probably should just check this back. I ended up betting pretty large. I think if most people call pre, they're just going to get the money in on the flop, and I should just protect my equity and try to get the showdown. Even though I won, I still feel like I played that bad. Now let's go to the worst hand of the video. So I'm in the big blind, but I had just lost a hand under the gun, and I said I wasn't going to top back off until after the small blind, meaning I was going to have a full stack on my button. And the person I lost the stack to was the middle position player. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little steamed up. And then when I saw all this limping going on, all these plates in the kitchen and don't nobody want to clean up, I had to raise it. Now on this flop, I normally check my entire range. But I'm at 1 SPR, I'm on tilt, the money goes in. Like a fool. Of course I would have slow played if I known middle position had 2 pair and the under the gun had the ace of diamonds. And of course I would have been patient if I would have known I was going to make a straight flush. Oh well, I hope you enjoyed the hands.